So our next story here is Event Horizon Dark Descent Inked Pages Preview, upcoming prequel comic. Yeah, guys, Event Horizon, I think one of the strongest movies that Paul W.S. Anderson ever released. I saw this one in the theater with my parents and my big brother Matt, and my mom was like covering her eyes half the time. This is like, The Shining in space is kind of what Event Horizon reminds me of. And I like this idea of doing a prequel comic because I'm not the biggest prequel film fan, but to be able to get a little bit of that insight and that story in a different medium, I'm way more okay with that. I really enjoy Event Horizon a lot. I think it's kind of like a mindfuck movie. Great performances by Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne for sure, and some really disturbing imagery. Apparently also there was like some stuff that was left on the cutting room floor that's even more disturbing. But let's take a look at the article here. I'm interested in knowing if you guys are comic book fans, like collectors of stuff like this, just kind of like off the superhero beaten path, the more like horror comic driven stuff. And if you're a fan of Event Horizon and you're interested in seeing, what this prequel could be all about. So let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments down below as well. The article, let's see who did this one. Alex DiVincenzo. So let's see how his editing is. The article says, discover what happened to the original Event Horizon crew in Event Horizon Dark Descent, a 5-part comic prequel to the 1997 cosmic horror film launching August 20th from IDW Publishing. Bloody Disgusting has an early look at 3 inked pages, pre-coloring and lettering, by artist Tristan Jones, who's working on the series with writer Christian Ward and colorist Pip Martin. Taking place prior to the movie's 2047 setting, the comic will uncover what really happened to Captain Killpack and the first Event Horizon crew as their ship journeyed across a nightmarish realm of torments beyond imagining. Quote, Event Horizon is one of those films that everyone remembers for a specific reason. That scene, Jones tells Bloody Disgusting. And he continues with, on a surface level, what that scene implies is something that people have really only been left to imagine. And because that's where we're going, it immediately takes the comic into really precarious ground as a creator to go beyond that surface. So let's take a look at these images here. You can read the rest of the article. It looks like they continue. We've got some black and white pages here. This looks really good. So much detail here. The middle panel on this first page. I mean, a lot of detail throughout, but particularly in this room, that I can't remember what exactly they call this thing. It basically folds time and allows the ship to go through it. But yeah, you guys can check out these images. We got our demons there, it looks like. Nice little shot of the Event Horizon in space. I like the composition here. This is looking pretty good. A lot of detail. I'm very curious to see what it ends up looking like once it's colored. But yeah, these are pretty darn good images. This is good stuff, guys. Let me know what you think in the chat and in the comments as well. So yeah, this is pretty cool stuff. I know my buddy Cecil Laird over at the Horror Show channel. I would imagine he's going to pick these up. He's a massive, just has a huge comic book collection. He's such a fan. And especially these horror comics and limited edition kind of stuff, limited series runs. So I would imagine Cecil is going to be interested in picking these up. And I'm curious to know what you guys all think. Jamie says, I am totally down for an Event Horizon comic. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's this looks really good. I don't collect comics, but I'd collect that comic. There you go. I think that's kind of what some of these horror, you know what I mean? Like you were saying earlier, you're done with like the comic book, even the movies and the superhero movies and everything. But there is its own niche of like, there's a niche of fandom out there for this kind of stuff.